Have you ever wondered what happens when you count every single calorie? I have tried all the diets that you could think of, made every single mistake that you could imagine. But in the end, I got myself into a place where I started to see some killer results. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not that special. And after counting my calories for around 8 years now, I'm going to be sharing all of that with you today. But first, what even is a calorie? As food becomes yummier, we are becoming fatter, as we can't keep our hands off of it. Calories are just our body's form of energy, like fuel to a car. Except imagine that our car can easily be overfilled. And unlike a normal car, which would just leak all over the floor, we have a reserve tank that just constantly fills up as we overfill ourselves, aka the fat on our body. It's just stored energy. As a young man, I kind of grew up skinny fat, and I always felt insecure about it. My whole life, I wish I had a six-pack set of abs, and I wished girls came up to me, and none of that really ever happened. Yeah. But over the years, I started to go to the gym as a young man and decided I was going to take control of my life. So I started trying to do diets that I kept finding on the internet. On this journey to become a better version of myself and lose the weight and feel more confident, I felt like I was trapped, doing unsustainable things and getting further away from the goal that I initially wanted to get to. Until one day, I stumbled upon something called calorie counting. Now, once I found out what calorie counting was, I decided I was going to give it a shot. To hear that people could eat foods that you would normally never hear in a diet and still see weight loss results blew my mind, and I didn't think it was possible. So I decided to fall into the world of calorie counting. And during this time, I was so focused towards getting to this goal that it consumed my life. And I was okay with it at the time because it really did mean a lot to me. It meant that I had now taken control of my life. And when I did lose the weight, it was the best thing that could have ever happened. So the initial challenges I faced when I started to count my calories was that I now had to stop and not really see food as pleasure as much anymore, and see them all as numbers. And in the initial stages of getting into this, it was really difficult. Not only did I build a bad habit to how I saw food, I found it really hard to connect it into my social life when I was going out to eat, when I had to pull out my phone before I ate and typed in my calories. I found it very difficult, and not only did I feel the caged feeling again that I felt with other diets, but I overall just felt like I tried to run away from this even more because it was always in my control. So when I had the chance to actually avoid my diet, I would. And certain things like cheat days started to come into my life where I would binge eat. And whenever I messed up my numbers and it wasn't perfect, I would then say that day was ruined and allow myself to binge eat as well. These were all challenges that I needed to face to get to the other side of where I was trying to go. But soon after, I had to learn how to make this into a healthy relationship towards food and tracking my calories. So then this brings us to the benefits that I experienced once I started to count my calories. Not only did I start to see clear evidence that even though I could eat like some junk food throughout the day, I still was losing the weight that I was trying to get off. Not only did I not restrict myself like the other diets made me do, who would have thought that you could eat ice cream sandwiches at night and still drop weight? And this was back in the day when diets were like on magazines telling you you're meant to eat chicken and broccoli and rice. And it was unbelievable. It felt like I unlocked a new secret that no one had known about. But no one would believe me when I was telling them that I was eating cereal, still having ice cream, but still losing weight and getting closer towards my weight loss goal, which blew my mind. And over time throughout the diets, I would hit plateaus. But now I knew what exactly was causing the plateau. Because I was tracking my calories, I had the clear numbers on the phone showing me exactly what it was that may have been plateauing me. Whether it meant I was binging on the weekends and I now wasn't tracking on the weekends, I could see it all. So not only did I start to gain the complete control over my diet, but my results started to speed up now that I knew The evidence was right in front of me. Now, over time, I started to get out of those bad habits I mentioned earlier, and I started to build a very healthy relationship with food. Not only did I now clearly understand foods, I could look at foods pretty easily and identify how many calories is in what, which then would unlock you to a whole nother aspect of life, which is intuitive eating. But now I knew how to do it because I had tracked so many calories throughout my time. It just became easy. And the lessons I learned during this journey was that I was using it back in the day as a restrictive tool, which most of you who are looking into getting into calorie counting probably see it as. You see it as this restrictive thing that is going to ruin your life. But if you change your perspective to see how it could free you in so many ways that you would not even be able to think about, it becomes something that is worth doing. Yes, it will suck at the start, but once you start to unlock the ability to know what calories are, to know what macros are, you put yourself in the best foot forward because you are now not coming from a place of not knowing what is happening, putting you in the driver's seat of your diet. Now, with the unsustainable diets, you will do stuff that you just find unrealistic, and that will cause you to binge eat, ruining your diet time after time. And you will constantly think to yourself, I'm just undisciplined. But really, it's more because you're doing a diet that's unsustainable, that you just genuinely can't do. And when you calorie count, it allows you to start having more flexible abilities in your diet, more flexible with what you eat on the weekend, how you eat it, how you view yourself after eating something. Rather than thinking it's unhealthy and you're messing up your diet, it's just 200 calories and it fits into your calories perfectly, still allowing you to lose weight the next day and not binge eat because you feel like you wasted your diet. So what is my current approach now after 8 years of calorie counting and trying all of those dieting fads that just didn't work? I've still, to this day, continued to count my calories because I enjoy it so much. But what I also do now is I have almost the same breakfast and lunch every single day. Why? Because it has so many more benefits and because I'm pretty lazy, not gonna lie. But it allows you to actually know and have consistency with your diet. I know that I'm not going to be guessing for what foods I'm going to eat today because it's going to be the same thing, and I currently really enjoy how that does make me feel. I know it's going to make me feel good. I know how my body is going to react to it. And not only that, but I get my protein goal pretty early in the day so that my dinner and my dessert for that day can be a lot more flexible because I've already had very high protein throughout the day. Now, I do switch out the foods every now and then, but I keep it relatively the same, and it makes your life so much easier. It keeps you from having to do so much guesswork. What foods am I gonna eat? Am I gonna feel hungry? Am I even gonna sustain my diet? Have I eaten way too many calories before dinner time and have I screwed myself over for the day? It completely prevents you from doing all of that because you know exactly what calories you have for the rest of the day, putting you in the best position forward. And also to tie back into this, I also have days now where I just intuitively eat and I know what the calories would be roughly that I'm hitting on a day-to-day basis. Because of this, it gives me the freedom to go out and eat, to know what I'm doing without actually having to track numbers all day, every day. So my advice to you is, being that you are going to eat foods for the rest of your life, it's not going to be something that you stop unless you find some secret technique. Let me know in the comments. But other than that, you are going to be eating food for the rest of your life. So you may as well learn how these foods affect your body, how many calories are in what foods, to just give yourself a basic understanding in the back of your mind. So how you could do this is download a calorie tracking app and just track your calories. Don't change your calories, just track your normal day-to-day eating habits for almost 2 weeks. Then just stop and see the understanding you develop in this time. And then repeat it again after you take a little break. This will actually just teach you the best understanding of foods that you never knew you needed because you were going to eat foods for the rest of your life, like I mentioned. Now, on top of this, every skill you try, any new skill, any new type of thing you are going to try in your life, you are going to suck at when you start. So you are inevitably going to hate it. So I'm just telling you, give it 2 weeks of time. Just stick it out, because I know you're going to hate it, you're going to be shit at it, you're not going to know what to do. But over time you will develop that skill, and you will become very, very well informed about how foods work, putting you in the best foot forward for the rest of your life. So try for 2 weeks just to track your calories at the normal eating pace you do. See how much calories they're coming out to, seeing what foods actually have what calories in them, and go from there. Calorie tracking is an amazing tool that will teach you so much about yourself and teach you a skill for the rest of your life to continue. So it is a very good return on your time and intention when you do put it towards this. Also, if you're looking to lose weight, press on this video here, as it will teach you how to use calorie counting as a form to lose weight.